You ever think your life is about to be the happiest it's ever been, only for it to crash down in front of everyone you know? That's exactly what happened to me. I was standing there in a wedding dress, ready to say I do, when my fiancé pulled the rug out from under me in the most humiliating way possible. But here's the part nobody saw coming. I didn't stay broken for long. In fact, I ended up marrying his brother instead. And trust me, the tea is scalding. By the way, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? I love seeing where all of you are tuning in from. So let me rewind. My name's Olivia, I'm 29, and up until last year, I thought I had it all figured out. I'd been with my fiancé, Daniel, for 3 years. He was charming, successful, had that movie star smile, and everyone told me I'd hit the jackpot. He wasn't perfect. He could be a little cocky, a little dismissive when he was stressed, but I chalked it up to personality. The truth? I ignored a lot of red flags because I was desperate for the happy ending. My parents divorced when I was a kid. My mom always told me, don't wait too long, don't be picky. So when Daniel proposed on a trip to Paris, literally under the Eiffel Tower, I said yes without hesitation. Planning the wedding was stressful, sure, but I was glowing. My dress was perfect. Lace, fitted bodice, dramatic train. We booked a gorgeous vineyard venue, and my bridesmaids kept joking that it looked like something out of Pinterest. The morning of the wedding, I woke up feeling like a princess. My mom cried when she saw me in the dress. My bridesmaids squealed. And even my future sister-in-law, Lily, said Daniel was the luckiest man alive. But when I got to the ceremony site, things felt off. Daniel wasn't there. The guests were seated, the string quartet was playing, but the groom, nowhere. I tried not to panic. I thought maybe he was fixing his tie or maybe nerves got the better of him. 10 minutes passed, then 20. Guests started whispering. My dad kept pacing. My maid of honor kept checking her phone. Finally, Daniel's brother, Ethan, came over to me. He looked pale, nervous, like he'd been dragged into something. He said, "Liv, can we talk?" I'll never forget his words. He said, "Daniel's not coming. He left." At first, I thought it was a sick joke. I laughed like, ha ha ha. Good one. But Ethan's face was stone serious. He handed me a note Daniel had scribbled. "I can't do this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. That's it. No explanation. No goodbye. Just 6 pathetic words that destroyed me in front of 150 people." I felt my knees buckle. My bridesmaids rushed to hold me up. Guests were gasping. My mom was shouting. I looked at Ethan, sweet, quiet Ethan, and he looked like he wanted to disappear. I later found out Danielle had left a note with Ethan, said, "You handle it," and drove off. Can you imagine being left at the altar while your fiancé speeds away like a coward? It was the most humiliating, soul-crushing moment of my life. After that, things got blurry. My dad wanted to storm off and hunt Daniel down. My mom wanted to drag me home. But I couldn't move. I just stood there in a $4,000 dress with mascara running down my face while everyone whispered about poor Olivia. And then Ethan did something that changed everything. He took my hand, firm, steady, and said, "You don't have to do this alone. I'm here." At the time, I thought he was just being kind. Ethan was always the quieter brother, the responsible one. He didn't have Daniel's flash, but he had this grounded energy. He stayed by my side through the chaos, made sure I ate, made sure I got home safely. While my world fell apart, Ethan was the only one keeping me upright. The next few weeks were hell. I couldn't go anywhere without whispers. People looked at me with pity, like I was some tragic figure. My phone blew up with questions, gossip, even tabloids trying to get the story. And Daniel, he vanished. Didn't answer my calls. didn't show his face. But Ethan checked in every single day. He'd bring me food, call just to ask how I was, listen when I cried. Slowly, our conversations turned deeper. We started talking about things we never had before. The pressure of family expectations, how Daniel always got away with everything, how Ethan had been the one quietly holding things together. One night, about a month after the disaster, Ethan admitted something that nearly knocked me off my feet. He said, "I wanted to tell you this for years, but I couldn't. Olivia, I've always had feelings for you, even before Daniel." I didn't know how to respond. At first, I thought it was just the trauma bond. We were both reeling from what happened. But when I looked in his eyes, I realized he wasn't lying. All those times he'd been kind, all those moments he lingered just a little too long, it clicked. And here's where it gets messy, because against my better judgment, I kissed him. It started soft, hesitant, but then it was like something exploded. All the anger I felt toward Daniel, all the heartbreak, all the loneliness, it poured into that kiss. I told myself it was wrong, that it was just grief. But one kiss turned into a secret dinner, which turned into a night together, which turned into more. Before I knew it, Ethan and I were inseparable. Of course, we kept it quiet. Can you imagine the scandal? The jilted bride dating the groom's brother? People would have eaten us alive. But the more time I spent with Ethan, the more I realized how different he was from Daniel. Where Daniel was selfish, Ethan was giving. Where Daniel lied, Ethan was brutally honest. He didn't just love me, he respected me. About 6 months later, Daniel finally resurfaced. He called me, crying, begging me to forgive him, said he got cold feet, that he was scared of commitment. But he realized he'd made a mistake. He wanted me back, and for a moment, I'll admit, the old Olivia, the one who always dreamed of the fairy tale ending, almost said yes. But then Ethan walked in the room. He didn't beg. He didn't plead. He just said, "You deserve someone who shows up for you every single day. That's not Daniel, that's me." And in that moment, I knew he was right. So here's the twist nobody saw coming. A year after Daniel left me at the altar, I walked down another aisle, this time toward Ethan. Smaller wedding, no vineyard, no grand spectacle, just close family and friends. And yes, people whispered, some judged, but when I said I do, I knew I was finally marrying a man who wouldn't run. Do I feel guilty sometimes? Absolutely. Daniel and I had history, and Ethan is his brother, but then I remind myself, Daniel left me. He made his choice. And Ethan chose me every single day since. Sometimes life doesn't give you the fairy tale you pictured. Sometimes it gives you something messier, something scandalous, but maybe even better. So here I am, happily married to the man who was standing beside me when my world fell apart. He left me at the altar, so I married his brother instead. What would you have done if you were me?